Well, Morgan, the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office just released its long-term forecast showing the national debt will be twice the size of the economy by 2051. Now, already the CBO had projected that the debt would hit a new record high in 2031, totaling 107% of GDP. Now it says the debt would double over the next 2 decades to 202% of GDP. Now, these estimates do not include the impact of the $1.9 trillion COVID relief package that's still making its way through Congress. But the CBO did warn that a growing debt burden could increase the risk of a fiscal crisis and higher inflation and undermine confidence in the U.S. dollar. Now, on the deficit, the CBO found that it would decline over the next few years as the pandemic wanes, but it would rise again in subsequent decades, reaching 13.3% in 2051. Most of that growth is due to bigger net interest payments. They're expected to triple relative to the size of the economy between 2031 and 2051. Revenues, though, are also expected to rise from the expiration of individual tax cuts in 2025 and a growing share of income that's getting pushed into higher tax brackets. But, guys, the CBO did say that revenue will not grow as fast as spending. Back to you.
Yeah, the issue here in part is if interest rates go up, how much more we're going to have to spend just to service the debt is going to mean a lot of other things aren't going to be able to be financed.
Well, that's right. And that's why they're finding that there could be some obviously crowding out of private investment as interest rates rise and as the amount of the federal budget that's spent on interest payments increases as well. You know, the good news is that they are expecting the economy to improve as well. So rising GDP will also be part of that story. But it's clear that the fiscal impact of the pandemic is going to be with us for a very, very long time.
Yeah. I mean, just to that point, with a $1.9 trillion fiscal package, you know, kicking through Congress right now, I just wonder how much weight a report like this holds as those negotiations continue in the Senate.
Yeah, so that's something critical that the Senate is waiting on before it even moves forward with voting on its bill. One thing we know is that the package cannot be more than $1.9 trillion or else Republicans could block that bill. So that's one of the final pieces that they're waiting on before they can move this to be able to understand some of the long-term fiscal implications of this. It's also one of the reasons why the CBO sort of broke up its projections. Normally, the CBO releases its economic and budget outlook all at the same time, but they wanted to make sure that lawmakers had the information they needed as they went forward with some pretty big spending packages.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.